Welcome back to Squelch. I'm Dano.
And I'm Storm Raid, and we're here to remind everyone that Return of the Obra Dinn is a game, and that games are supposed to be fun.
They sure are. They sure are, Storm Rage.
Sure
are. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, interesting. And it seems like there's like some connotation or perhaps some emotion behind that in some way, shape, or form that maybe undercuts the words that you're using.
No, I just feel like we could have said, "Hi, I'm Storm Rage, and we're here to remind you that Obra Dinn is a game, and games aren't supposed to make you feel stupid."
Maybe a little stupid as a treat.
That's a treat. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
It's art. It's art, and it makes you feel dumb.
Sometimes, yeah.
But in a good way. It makes you feel dumb in a good way.
Yeah, because then you feel real smart.
Then you feel real smart.
And you can't feel smart unless you feel dumb beforehand. That's basic math.
I don't know. I felt real smart in first grade when I thought I knew everything. And then I learned I didn't know everything and I felt dumb. And I've never felt quite that smart ever again. So feel like you're wrong about that?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that first time you realize somebody else is better than you at something and you're like, oh, well, guess that's not my thing.
I don't know if there's been a time where I legitimately thought that I was the best at anything. So I don't know if I've really ever felt that. Because even as a kid, I knew my brother was better than me at basically everything. And my dad was better than him at things. So I was like third man on the totem pole within my own family. So my self-confidence never really hit a peak of I'm the best at things.
I read at a really early age, and so I was pretty confident in my ability to read. Felt pretty good about reading.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But anyways, should we go thank some patrons?
I think we should.
Thanks. I am pretty incredible.
Hey, patrons. Thank you so much. Storm Rage has prepared a special song for you. Storm Rage, go ahead. I'm excited about this. He's been talking about it all week in the Squelch show Discord.
What? Dano?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want me to do the song now? The song that I definitely have been talking about all week. This is definitely a real bit that has been happening. And it's not Dano. If you're thinking at home, is Dano just like throwing Storm Rage under the bus right now? That's definitely not what's happening right here.
I would never do something like that.
Have a song. And I definitely wasn't waiting for Dano to like play a weird bumper that would make it sound like I am singing. That's definitely not what's happening. So here's the song that I'm about to sing. And it's going to sound like this. Patrons! Thank you, patrons! Thank you, patrons! There you go. There's your song, Dano.
It's perfect. I have no notes.
Dano, I would like to talk with you after the pod. Unrelated reasons about what... definitely not related to what just happened here.
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
Hey, Storm Rage, what'd you play for... Oh, you're supposed to say a thing first. It says on the show notes.
Slurp.
I love how now that I have remembered that it's a thing, you have forgotten it's a thing, which I think is the most Squelch thing possible.
Yes.
So I really do appreciate it.
One of us will remember, but only one of us will remember.
And always the wrong one.
Yes.
Hey, what'd you do? What did you video game this week in video games?
So the main video game that I played is more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's just a really good fighting game.
I am drinking the LaCroix Limoncello Sparking Zero. What are you drinking?
Dano's already made this joke twice this morning. So I'm just going to blow on past that. I have finished about half of the overall playthrough. So it's a really fun design where you play through the story, but you only play through story arcs that character is involved in. And then you can go back through and play through as a different character and play the fights that they are involved in. And I finished about half of the storylines, and it's just a really fun game. And I've been enjoying it a lot. I've learned a lot. And I'm never going to play that game online. I'm never going to play that game competitively. But
that was my question.
No,
I was
never.
going to ask.
I have literally zero interest in ever playing this game online. I will play with my friends in a couch co-op format because that's really, really fun. And I will play against computers. And that's it. That's the only time that I'll play this game. And that will be a perfect usage of that game to me. And yeah, that's basically all that I've played this week. I haven't had as much time as I usually do. And Daniel, what have you been playing?
I have questions though about this game first. Online, is there like a ranked ladder as like of other like
there
sort of,
is. There's a ranking system that's like it's like F through S, I think is the system, and then you have numbers within those. So you've got like F5 is the lowest, and I think like S1 is the highest, or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure.
That's cool. I have another question about this.
Yeah.
What's that terrifying costume behind you, Storm Rage?
Oh, there?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's just a sheet. It's not really exciting. That's a literal cover. Yeah,
it looks like a white like some sort of like overall situation.
Yeah, it does look like something a serial killer would put on top in order to do serial killer things. But no, that's just a sheet because my dryer is really bad at drying it, so I have to air dry it. So I hang it up on the door frame, and I forget that it exists until Dano points it out.
No, I think it's wonderful that you wash your sheets. So good for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
it's important.
A very basic aspect of human hygiene.
You would be surprised. I feel like I also wash my sheets, but I feel like there are people that don't.
How often do you wash your sheets?
Regular basis. I don't know, like probably 2-3 weeks, probably.
That's
maybe
about
a
what
month.
I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your reminder. Hey, friends, this is your reminder. Wash your sheets this weekend.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to, like, do I have the extra time to do the extra loads of laundry?
Yeah.
That require getting the sheets washed? Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, at least once a month because gross.
Yeah.
I played video games as well. I say video games. I played a video game. I played Darkest Dungeon. Kept plugging away at Darkest Dungeon because I love that game. And now I get to talk about it during tea, and that makes me happy. So I've raised 4 heroes now to level 6, which is the max level. Prior to that, my Vestal had been level 6. So I got 4 characters level 6. They are Crusader Man-at-Arms, Vestal Hat, Plague Dr. Baximus, and Gator the Grave Robber. I believe they are the only 4 party members that I have raised from level 0, but that could be wrong. I do think they're the only 4 where I haven't unlocked all of their like skills. So if I had some other level 0s that I leveled up, I've at least unlocked all their skills. But I think basically that these are the last 4 that were like left over from the initial like start of the game that either haven't died or haven't been booted out of the party for worthlessness. So yeah, the Grave Robber typically wouldn't be considered a great party member, but they have a knife throw ability that does bonus damage to blinded enemies. And with a Plague Doctor in the group, you always have blinded enemies, so they're kind of great. And they are a specialist group for the ruins. Because like in the ruins, Blight does really, really well against the undead. And then you have Man-at-Arms, which is a Crusader, who does bonus damage against Unholy. There's a bunch of Unholy in the ruins. And then Matt also has a perk that does bonus damage to Unholy. So he basically hits like a tank. The problem with Matt is he has a perk which makes him like a Debbie Downer and like stresses everybody out.
Amazing.
So I got to get that taken care of. I do have ruins up to level 6, so now I can take on the Necromancer Lord. But I'm like 3 weeks away from that probably at this point, like in-game weeks, so like 3 runs. because I need to de-stress the group still, even after, like, I did a massive de-stress after the last run. And then Matt, like, stressed everybody out, though, and, like, stressed himself out, like, to the max. And so I have to de-stress the group still a little bit and then clean up a couple of the negative quirks that are kind of sitting in that group before I go take on the Necromancer Lord. So I don't lose the group, because that would be a bummer. But yeah, so that's going really, really well. I've also reached the Hag, so I can take that on. That's like the level 3 or level 4, and I think the Weld. I also high-rolled a Hamlet event where I get a free building upgrade, so I was able to max out both the armor smithing and instructor mastery in the same week, which meant that I got to go out to the stagecoach and max my stagecoach out. So now I have a max level stagecoach, except for that I have the modded version of it where I can, like, basically, like, double the amount of heroes I can have. But as far as, like, base game, like, stagecoach completely maxed out. So I now get level 3 heroes that I can start recruiting. So we're now, like, basically cooking with Crisco. So yeah, it was only really a week in advance that I got to max out the stagecoach, but it still felt pretty ding dang cool that I got it done beforehand. I was like, whoa, that's really great. And I went and, like, made sure that I upgraded the right building, because I had already that, so I had enough of the other, like, resources to get the other one upgraded. So felt pretty cool, pretty fun. And yeah, this current save is going along really, really well. So I'm looking for, I think I'll probably take on the Darkest Dungeon here in the next 2 weeks of, like, real world time, which is really fun and exciting, because that is really hard. So
nice.
Yeah, I have to do a little bit of research on that before I go in there too. So, because I've never gone into the Darkest Dungeon. As much as I played this game, 160 hours, I've never actually gone into the Darkest Dungeon. So, you know,
that's
we'll
crazy
see how that
to
goes.
me.
I know. It's because, like, you know, I don't know. I've always restarted saves in this game. So, like, I had my 2016 save, and then my 2020 save, and then my 2023 save, and my 2024 save, and, like, I just keep on starting from scratch with all of them. So yeah, but this time got a really good save, feeling really good about that. So I'm gonna keep on pushing ahead with the Darkest Dungeon. It's already time for the Obra Dinn recap. So I don't think this week is gonna have spoilers, at least not any major spoilers. So if you're wanting to play Obra Dinn, I don't think we're going to worry about any spoilers this week. So I'm not going to go ahead and throw Enthralmech in here to fix anything. If, like, we do go over spoilers, I will have Enthralmech pop in here to tell you where to skip ahead to. But other than that, I think we're just going to go ahead and get right into the Obra Dinn recap. So Matt played a lot this week, and he isn't here, as you probably have noticed.
Matt has played so much more. This is Matt's jam. Matt has been the most in on this game. I've loved this game. Matt has been very in on this game.
Yeah, Matt was basically like, I'm at work, and all I can do is think about playing Obra Dinn. I think he has like 8.5 hours into the game. I have like 3 right now.
I have about an hour and a half.
Yeah, so he is really just like plugged away at this game, like absolutely crazy extent. So this is all Matt's like tips and recaps and that kind of stuff. So thank you, Matt, for doing the hard work this week. So what is this game? It is 1807 England. The East India Company ship Obra Dinn, assumed lost at sea, drifts into port. No hands remain on board, only the remains of several crewmen. You are an agent of the company assigned to the task of inspecting the ship and trying to determine what happened to the ship and its crew and submit a report to your supervisor. Your tools are a notebook, a crew manifest, images that were drawn on board, a magical pocket watch, like, you know, every insurance jester has one of those. We all know that.
Well, to be fair, the pocket watch is a gift from the captain to help you figure out what's happened, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
Of the Obra Dinn?
Yes.
You have it at the beginning of the game, though.
Yeah, it's the very first thing that you get, but it comes with the journal and a note that says, hey, I was going to tell you all the events that happened in the Obra Dinn, but I couldn't, so instead you'll have to figure them out yourselves. Here's a pocket watch that will help you.
Oh, I thought that was like just like the insurance adjuster or supervisor gave that to you, and I was like, that's really weird.
I
But
don't
okay,
think
whatever.
so. I'm pretty sure that you're given to it by the captain of the ship that is no longer there.
That does make it more of an interesting game because I was like, it's kind of like takes the supernatural, like, oh, what? We're just like going around in supernatural insurance adjusting all over the place. I'm like, that's a real weird world.
Yeah,
But
everybody just has magic pocket watches that show you when they die. That's just normal thing.
I mean, it's a video game. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing.
And the ability to see the last moment of someone's life frozen in time. So the pocket watch becomes active when you approach a body and you are transported to the moment of that person's death. Sometimes additional details are discovered and additional deaths are discovered. It basically creates like a cloud that you have to follow. It starts shaking at you and making a funny sound. And you click again and then you like have to follow it around to wherever it goes. So their body there, you click it, it shows you that person's moment of death. Or the moment of a cow's death, as it were, in one scene. So it's not just people. It also works on animals, which is interesting. So as you uncover the mystery, you discover the fate of the cursed crew. And with these tools, it is up to you to discover who everyone is and what happened to them.
The game itself is presented in a first-person monochromatic, so it's all like single color scale. So it's either white, black. Sometimes like you could choose the color that it is, but it's usually white, black, and then shades between the two of them. And almost vector-like graphic style. Imagine that it is running an 80s style computer and gives you an idea of how it looks. Most of the art and text are pixel-based as well. So when you first encounter somebody, you'll be able to see their face, and then you'll see their face on like a roster where it's like the picture of the crew before the events of the Obra Dinn. And the first time that you meet them, their face will be blurred. But as you begin to understand more and more clues, their face will eventually unblur, indicating, hey, you probably have enough information somewhere to deduce who this person actually is. That's not always the case for me, who's not really good at these things. There is somebody that like has a tattoo, like really cool tattoos all over the place, and he was unblurred really early on, and I don't know who this person is. I went through everything, and there was like, there's no name, there's nothing said around these things. I've seen them a bunch, not a clue who this person is. Still, not a clue who that person is. Yeah.
So there are the triangles of dumb above people's heads. So like if there are 3 triangles of dumb, like if you're smart, you might be able to deduce it. If there are 2, it's like, okay, you might have enough. And if there's 1 triangle of dumb above their picture, then you should be able to figure it out.
Oh, so I didn't know that's how. Okay.
Yeah. So at a certain point, like the game is like, hey, here are the triangles of dumb. And if there's 1 triangle of dumb and you haven't figured this out, you're the dumb. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that game. I appreciate the triangles of dumb.
I kind of love that. The story itself
my name for them, but
yeah. The story itself is presented in a non-chronological style because it starts at the end of the story. You see the captain screaming and then being attacked, and then the rest of the game kind of unfolds from there. And as you discover events, basically your journal will fill in automatically for you the events of what happened, as far as like you'll see a picture of what happened. If there's any text or dialogue that happened during that scene, you'll see that as well. And then you'll see who all was there. Specifically, it'll like highlight these individuals on the overall roster picture thing. And then you have to determine who this person was, how they were killed, and then who they were killed by, or what they were killed by sometimes. And the game has a really interesting mechanic of it will not tell you if you are right or wrong until you have locked in 3 guesses. And then once you lock in 3 guesses, it will tell you either whole out of those 3, yes, these 3 are correct, or no, that something is off about them. But let's say, for instance, you've got 3 people locked in, but you've got the identity of one of them wrong. It'll just say no. It'll just like not lock in. So it doesn't tell you what's wrong about it. It just says, hey, you're still missing something here, which I think is a really interesting way to go about it. So you can't kind of like game the system of just like massively go through everybody and then like slide through all the different possibilities. So I like that quite a bit.
I think for the first time when you have something not right, it'll be like, hey, you probably don't have something right here. I believe, at least in my experience, if you have something wrong and you have it locked in, it just doesn't lock anything in.
Yes.
So at one point, I had 4 things locked in after my initial 3, and it just wasn't saying anything. And so I was like, okay, I have something wrong here. Went back, figured out what it was. It was actually made me feel, when I did figure it out, I felt super duper smart.
See?
I'm not saying that. No, I was saying it was in the execution scene. I'm not sure if you got there or not yet. But like once I saw it, I was like, all right, guy, you're smart. Because I was like, I get it now. And I was able to go back and it was able to piece together bits from previous stuff. And then like, oh, okay, he's the guy with the hat. And this is Hats the game. It's Hats the game.
There's a lot of hats in here.
It's just Hats the game. Okay, this person's hat is big. This person's hat is small. This person's hat is a skull cap. It's Hats the game. This is Hats the game. So I was like, okay, I know this person's hat. So I was able to go and figure out that. And then I was able to get that 3rd clue and get the 6th thing right. So, but yeah, Hats the game.
By the way, at the time of this writing, I've currently solved 3 fates. So that fates are when you decide who, what, and where was murder. And again, it locks in at every 3. Matt has 24 out of the 60, but you don't have to actually complete all the fates to beat the game. In fact, I don't think you have to complete any of the fates. You could just kind of end the game whenever you want once you go through the story, which I also think is an interesting thing. I know that I'm close on a bunch of them. I know that I'm close. I have like everybody's like cause of death. I know that I've got a few names that I'm between. So I think in the next like hour or so, I'll be able to get quite a few down.
Yeah, so I'm at 6 right now, and I'm not much more like ready. So like when you first get something, usually you can like it'll pop into the journal and you can be like, unknown person died of unknown causes. It's not like the exact words, but it's more or less that. And you can start like plugging in what you know. Okay, oh, I know how this person died from this scene, or oh, I know who this person is from this scene because they said their name. And so you can plug in a little bit about the information. But not always a ton.
Yeah.
And so you have to go back and get other like tidbits and then come back to it and get it later or go throughout in the journal. So usually you can get something, at least in the early game from what I've seen, but not all of it. So,
yeah.
And it's a lot of wandering around, it seems like, as well. So, because like as you wander around and unlock more stuff, like more of the ship opens up. So at the beginning, it's just the ship is closed off. It's just you can go into the captain's quarters. And then from the captain's quarters, you can go down into the like one deck lower, and then the other part of that deck opens up. And so like as you progress, more and more stuff opens up as more and more of the game kind of opens up to you. So you can't like just wander around willy-nilly. You have to kind of like open things up by learning about different deaths, or at least going through different death scenes to have them open up. So the journal is the most important interface in this game. It tracks each event, each death, disappearance, and the movements of the crew between scenes. As you uncover events, it fills in. If you are missing pages, it can give you hints where to look for the missing scenes. I don't know what that means, but Matt apparently does. When you see the death of a crewman, it's up to you to determine who they are, sometimes very hard, how they died, often easier, and who killed them. Hard to determine sometimes, doesn't help if you don't have names. So sometimes you will know who killed them, like from the scenes, like, oh, that person killed them, but you don't know that person's name. Or it's a 50-50. That's what I'm on that right now. I'm like, oh, it's one of these 2 people. I don't know which one though. And so you can't do anything with it until
I had a scene very recently where I was like, this person's definitely shot by this person. I have no idea who this person is. Not a clue. This person's definitely dead. I don't know how to make any note of that. I've seen this person like 6 times. I know that they're part of the crew. I know that they've killed before. This person's on a murder rampage. Not a clue who they are.
It's the captain.
It's probably the captain, yeah. The last little section here is the pocket watch. So the pocket watch is a device that allows you to enter the moments of people's death. So it'll pop up near a body, and then the hands of the clock correlate to the time of death based on the chapters and scenes. I didn't know that. That's a cool little tidbit, Matt. The hour hand points to the chapter in the journal of the death, and the minute hand to the scene. I had no idea. Activating the watch allows you to enter the scene, usually with some dialogue preceding it, but not always. Sometimes it's just silent, stabby times. The first time the dialogue...
Or other noises.
Huh?
or other noises.
Yes, there are a lot of noises. Some not
so
pleasant
many
to hear.
noises. So unpleasant.
The first time the dialogue happens first, and you have limited time in the scene to determine what happens. The scenes are frozen in time at the moment of death. You can't interact, but sometimes there are additional details in the scene and additional bodies that can be discovered. So, like, you can walk around and see where people are at, and then if you go through multiple scenes in order, you can kind of see, like, where people came from. Mm-hmm. So, like, there was one where I saw this father, I assume father, again, there's a lot of assumptions in this game, who's, like, caressing his son's body, who's dying, and he's screaming for help from someone. And so I was like, oh, and then every other scene, I kind of, like, went back up, and I just tracked where this dude came from. It seemed like it would be useful at the time, and I've tracked where he came from. I still don't know who this dude is. But I did track where he came from, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And I found a lot of other interesting information. So, like, the way that the game organizes itself and the fact that you can kind of, like, reverse engineer how most of these scenes happen, I think it's really interesting. Sometimes the additional bodies move themselves out to the now moment so you can return to the scene later. Sometimes bodies are lost and can only be accessed through other scenes. So, like, you have to, like, go Inception-like from scene into scene to see the original body thing again. This game's crazy. This game's crazy, y'all. I love it so much. Dano, I think you've got one last thing.
Yeah. The Inception, I think I didn't realize that until just today when I was like, wait a minute. I'm in a scene and I need to get into this body. This body wasn't like, that's annoying. Okay. Good for you. Good for you, game. Good for you, game. Appreciate it. So these are Matt's tips. These are Matt's tips. So prioritize uncovering the story first and focus on determining the cause of death. Sometimes it is easier to uncover who someone is. Okay, sometimes it is. Sometimes I'll tell you the name, and I'm like, I know that person because they said their name.
Yeah, my favorite scenes are when they're like, Paul, don't get shot. And it's like, okay, thank you.
A lot of the time, it's nearly impossible. Don't worry about uncovering identities as much as determining cause of death. Well, that's good. I obsess over it. Officers are easy to determine. They have big hats. The bigger the hat, the higher ranking the officer. Stewards and midshipmen are people in nice clothes that don't wear hats. Top men and riggers don't wear shirts. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Seamen are the ones who do. I didn't know that either. I don't know how Matt figured this out.
I don't know how Matt figured any of this out either. That's think very helpful.
I'm gonna call a little bit on Matt here. I think Matt's been looking stuff up. I think Matt has been cheating.
I don't know if he has or if he's just put things together, because Matt's put enough time into this that, like,
baby,
it's reasonable that he could have understood all this. We did agree as a group that we would not look up anything, and that's still true. That's why I think Dano and I are so far behind. But like, I think that this is all presented in game, that if you are exposed to it enough, that you can kind of draw those conclusions yourself. Because, like, now that he says it, I go, of course that makes sense. So it's not so hidden that it seems impossible without looking it up.
Yeah. The top men and riggers not wearing shirts and the seamen wearing shirts. That's where I'm like, I don't know, Matt. I'm gonna call a little bit here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Matt is just next level. I mean, he is an engineer,
and he's also figured out 24 out of 60. So, like, if you figure out, amazing. Enough top men, these dudes all wear shirts, and then you figure out one seaman, and you're like, this dude doesn't have a shirt, or this dude does have a shirt, then you could probably piece those together.
Yeah, no, you're right. Matt is just next level.
Yeah.
Matt. Women and some members of a delegation are passengers. Once you complete the story and have all the scenes unlocked, it will begin to rain. Matt's like, let's just go play up to the rain part. And I'm like, Matt, you're putting way too much, like, pressure.
Yeah.
The boatman will say that a storm is coming. And at that point, the game assumes you have everything to solve the mystery.
Good for the game.
No. Yeah, it's a bold. You know what happens when you assume, game. You can, at that point, end the game. There is an additional chapter that Matt has yet to uncover. So good for Matt. I am calling this next section What the Dum-Dums Think.
Okay.
We're the Dum-Dums. And so here's some hints and tidbits that I've come across. Press E. Press E. The game doesn't tell you to press E. The game doesn't tell you to press anything. The gameplay it's mildly frustrating.
Are you talking about, like, when
the controls
you press E, it pulls up where they're at in the journal?
No, if you press E, it will focus in on someone's face. And you can get a closer look at them. And it just like takes away all the background images and just zooms in on them. It takes everything else away so you can get a good look at their face, at their hat. And then if you go a little bit to the right or the left, it will actually like superimpose their picture from the journal. And then you can see that and then go directly to their journal entry.
Yeah, you can also do that if you hold right on your mouse and then left click.
Yeah, see, the game doesn't say any of this. It's wonderful. You all were complaining a lot about this because Darkest Dungeon.
Okay, no. This game's onboarding is so much better than Darkest Dungeon, and it's not even close.
No, half the time, I just press the wrong button, and then I just lose whatever I was working on because it is so confusing.
Okay, here are the controls of the game, everybody. WASD to move, left mouse click to interact with a thing, tab to open journal. That's all that there is. Like that. What are you talking about? That doesn't need to explain these things.
You left and right to change pages, but sometimes you can like left or right to. Because like
it also tells you how to interact with the journal. It goes through those pop-ups.
I had to go to the control panel to figure out how to do anything. I was like, okay, where are the controls?
For what thing? What thing did you
to move and like how to interact with stuff, and then you just interact with some things automatically, some things you don't.
You had to go to the control panel to figure out WASD?
I sure did. Well, I didn't say that it was WASD. It wasn't like, hey, W to move. It was like, hey, do a thing. I was like, what thing should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do. You didn't tell me. Am I pointing and clicking? What is this?
See, it doesn't explain a lot because it's just like games. You just do game stuff. You click, you move.
Just say WASD to move. Just do that. Just do that. Give me that much. And then tab open journal and left click to interact. Just tell me that. It's 1 second to tell me that in the game. Don't make me go looking for the controls.
Now remind me, Dano, where in the game does it say that the Antiquarian in Darkest Dungeon allows you to have more loot and get better loot? Oh, that's right. Nowhere in the game does it say that.
So anyways, if you press E, there's a whole lot of information there that the game does not tell you about.
You can also interact with it by clicking on your mouse.
You can, but it's different. It's not just the interaction thing. It's like it actually like zooms in and gives you more information and then actually presents the information differently. So it is actually a different interaction than just left clicking.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there are different like view settings where like this is really cool and I do love this. It's also awful because everything about this game is both equal parts cool and awful.
I think that's fair.
You can change which old-timey computer graphics you get. So it's like, do you want old Macintosh graphics, like the old like Chroma stuff? So old Macintosh Chroma, old IBM, the Commodore 64, which is bright blue and dark blue. There's another one where it's like a dark green color. And that's really fun to switch back and forth between. I've been doing all of them at different points because it's just kind of fun to pretend you're playing an old video game.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that quite a bit. Is there anything any dumb stuff that you want to share there, Storm Rage?
No, I don't think so. Other than like looking at names and just making guesses based off of names is a legitimate thing that you have to do as far as like how people might be related or like there's only 2 women on the boat or 3 women on the boat. So you could probably just like take a guess if you know that like there's a woman here. What's their name?
We're going to get into that in the Salt because like there is something. We're going to get into that part of the game because that part of the game is legitimate and it is kind of funny. But yeah. And then I think part of my problem with the interaction is I played other games where like, I think it's Elder Scrolls games where the left mouse buttons makes the page go to the left and the right makes it go to the right. And so like I'll be in the journal and want to switch pages and I'll click the right mouse and it'll back out. And then like now I've lost the page I was on, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, because right click will back you out. And then like, yeah, so.
Yeah, so on the journal, it's Q and E will flip pages and then holding will skim it. Or you can just click on the page to move it. But yeah, right click it won't take you out of the journal, but it'll take you somewhere.
It does something.
Yeah, it puts you back to the table of contents or something.
It does something.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me again about how great these controls are.
I think they're fine. That's not
They
the focus
are
of the
fine.
game. I know what to do. I know how to do things.
Equal parts great and awful. That's this game. Is equal parts great and awful.
I don't think it's equal parts. I think that there are parts that are a little undertuned, but I think this game is phenomenal so far.
I think most of it is tuned exactly how the guy wanted. I don't think he
Yes.
left a whole lot up to like undertuning. There's a few things that we'll talk about here in the Naga Sandwich, which we're getting to right now, where I think undertuned. But for the most part, I think he tuned this exactly what he wanted to.
Yes, I think so too.
Taste my grilled cheese.
I got the first good.
Munch.
See, we both get it wrong. It's impossible. It's impossible to get it right. It's impossible. I got the first good. The first good is the attention to detail. There is one point, like the attention to detail of the game is absolutely insane. There is one point where you go back in time. This is just normal attention to detail, but you go back in time like you do, and there are these doors that you can go through. They are closed off during the initial viewing until a certain like point where like an aperture closes, and then when you return back, you can like you'll exit the scene through these doors. So there is this door, you were like going back in time, and the ship is like listing pretty severely because of stuff. And no spoilers right now, so we won't talk about that stuff, but definitely next week. So the ship is listing pretty severely, and the door is as it is in like the real, like in present day, where like the ship is just floating on like a very calm sea. And so the door is upright, straight, vertical, but because the ship is lifting, the door looks like it's all cattywampus and diagonal. I thought that was just such a cool little attention to detail thing that didn't need to be. You wouldn't notice otherwise, but like the game developer saw it, and I should know this guy's name, but he did. I thought it was really cool and a nice little touch to the game, and I was like, you know what? Thumbs up, bud. I like this stuff. This is cool. I like the attention to detail. It's really, really neat. Are you looking it up right now?
No.
Okay, cool. I also have the not so good, and so except not with the attention to detail. There are certain things I'm like, buddy, there's no way you didn't notice this. So there's a part of the story where it's like super cold. They're talking about how cold it is. The chapter is about like bitter cold. It's called like bitter cold or something like that. And there is a dude in like the doctor's office in the ship, and he's just like stretched out, like all comfy with his hands behind his head, and he has like his sleeves rolled up. I have been on a boat where it is cold. You ain't just hanging out with your sleeves rolled up.
Yeah, but
and
you
like
can't...
all stretched out.
In a game this, where there's 60 characters, you can't change a character's design from one chapter to the other just because it's cold. You would complain about that even more if they changed that design. If you were like, oh, I know who this character is because he has like the sleeves rolled up and he has his head rolled back. And then in the next chapter, he doesn't look like that. I'd complain about that so much more.
I don't know. That just bothers me. Like, I mean, maybe you don't have, like, if you're going to have stuff where it's crazy cold, maybe you don't have his sleeves rolled up. I don't know. But, like, it was jarring. I was like, why is this dude, like, it just made no sense to me. It made absolutely no sense to me. And so I didn't even think to look for sleeves being rolled up as a thing. So I guess I'm doing that now. But, so I guess in this game, like, character styles don't change whatsoever. But, like, the captain's hat, he's wearing the hat sometimes and not other times. So that doesn't add up. Because the captain's not always wearing his hat.
You know who the captain is real early on. And the captain's really easy to identify. He's not like crewman number 17, which is like a legitimate person that you have to look for.
I'm sure this guy is crewman number 17. Well, he has a shirt on, and no hat, which makes him a seaman, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds right.
According to Matt's information. So there you go. Learned something new today. Bonus not so good. And this one I think is legitimate for me. The sounds are all on one setting.
This is the first one that I will legitimately agree with you on.
Yes. The music, the stingers, like the very visceral sounds of stuff happening to human bodies and human bodies doing stuff is all on one track. And then like the voice, I would love for the voice. I'd be able to turn up the voice at least.
Yeah,
and turn the music down maybe a little bit. I'm not sure. This might have been intentional as well, where he wants because there was one scene where like the voice was quieter because you are like from the point of view of someone who is eavesdropping. And so you don't hear everything super loud. And then like it gets louder and louder as things go on. So maybe again, this is intentional. But like some of like some of the sound effects, like half of me is like, hey, I think this guy just wanted to make gross sound effects because like there are some disgusting sound effects in this game. And like, I'm just going to say it, like, I thought we were done with the poop.
Never.
And we're not, apparently. And
I
apparently we're not.
actually think that we need to change our name one more time from Squelch, not another video game podcast, to Squelch, another poop podcast.
It's just like, I was like, how is this a thing? How have we done this? I was like, because like the scenes will oftentimes start from like a black screen. So all you hear is like people talking or something attacking or like a gunshot or something like that. And then this one scene, it just starts with, it's a bathroom scene.
People sometimes have difficulties with their digestive tracts at seas. That happens. That's a real thing.
What's our best good?
Our best good is that when this game does a really, really good job of when you do eventually figure things out, boy, howdy, I felt so smart. And, like, even when it's just, like, a very small thing of, like, oh, I know that thing, or I remember that name, or I know who that is. Like, any moment of victory makes me feel like a genius, like a brilliant detective, just trying to put these things together. And I think that the opening scene that it tells you do this is so beautifully done. Like, the opening, you'll be able to solve the first 3 fates pretty quickly.
Oh, nope. Took me like over an hour because I just didn't turn to the right.
Okay, well, Dano needs to figure out how to turn to the right. But I think that it's a really, because it gives you basically 3 main characters that all die, and you can figure out who killed them without too much difficulty. But it's still, even without that too much difficulty, I still was like, oh, it's this person because this person said this thing, and then this person did this thing, and then if I look, oh, this person's last name is equal to this person's last name, and then their middle name is equal to this person's last name, so that means that this and this, and I felt so smart. And I think that this game does a really good job of, like, breadcrumbing the clues of, like, you might know this, now you do. Yay! And I think that this is probably the best mystery detective type game that I have played.
How many mystery detective type games have you played?
Only a few. Like, I'd be lying if I said that it was, like, more than 5. But I've played a handful, and this is by far the strongest.
I wasn't trying to like call you out there. It sound like that. I just wanted this to be a one-off and the only game of its genre because I have found it so frustrating.
Oh no, there are definitely like detective genres. That is a real genre.
I was like, please be a one-off so no one makes me play a game like this ever again.
Yeah.
And it's not that I hate the game. It's just that I have found parts of it. And like once I started figuring out, like once I went back to the captain's quarters and like turned on the quarter and found him there. And then I got that initial like first like 3 correct. And then he might not even be my first 3, but like I got that one. I got another 3 correct and started putting a few things together. It got a little bit better, but there was like moments of like severe frustration for me in this game where I was like, I just don't like, I'm like, this feels like it's arbitrary. Like which way does the game want me to go? And there's not much of that, but there's a few things where you're like, how am I supposed to define this in order to correctly get the game to be happy with me?
Yeah.
And that's the part where I've been like, I feel like I'm getting a little meta with it, and maybe that's my problem. I'm trying to figure out what the game developer wants me to think about something as opposed to trying to figure it out on my own.
What the game wants you. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'm a little bit too meta with it. That might be my biggest issue. But for the most part, super interesting game.
Yeah. At the very least, I think we can agree. Interesting. Very interesting.
And a fun game. It's not like it's an unfun game.
Yeah.
It is a fascinating game. Absolutely fascinating.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number. I will ask myself 3 questions.
What do you like, Storm Rage, so far?
I think the story's super interesting. And the way that it's being told in kind of a reverse order, but it's not fully reversed. Sometimes you go forward in time, sometimes you go backward in time. And like everything about it is just really engaging, and it gives you just enough that you're like, I think I know what's going on, which is important because if at any point that I reach a story and I go, I've got no clue what's going on, I usually bail on it pretty fast. And this never makes me feel I have no idea what's going on, but it also never makes me feel I definitely know what's going on. And that's such a fun line to play between, and I think it's really well done. Dano, what are you liking about the game?
So I was going to say how something can look so bad and so good at the same time, because this game looks equal to, like, it looks like you're like, oh, this shouldn't look good, but it looks great. Which is fascinating and super cool. But really, I think what I am liking so far is, just maybe think about it when you were talking, is this, like, you kind of get to know the people without even knowing who they are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know this person and this person. Oh, this person was trying to do this. And, oh, I wish I knew who they were. Because you kind of get to know their personality a little bit through snippets, and like, it's like you kind of get engaged in their story before you even know what their mystery is, and that's really cool. It's amazing writing. It's really amazing writing. What are you struggling with?
I want to solve things as soon as I can, and so the second that someone pops up and their face isn't blurred, I just go, oh, well, if the face isn't blurred, I can solve who this is. Some people probably can. Yeah. Daniel probably can't. And I stared at the dude with tattoos, and I went through every single memory of him. And I went through every single thing trying to figure out who this man with tattoos is. He's got cool, swirly tattoos. He doesn't wear a shirt, which now means he's probably a rigger. And I don't know who this person is. I've got no clue who this person is. I know how he dies. I know who he kills or doesn't kill. I know all these things. I just don't have a name. And I need to meet the game on its terms rather than trying to figure out the second that I possibly can. I know eventually I'll figure out who this person is. It'll come to me. But there are times where I'm like, oh, well, if I've given this information, I could just solve it right now. I can't. I super can't.
Yeah, the single triangle of dumb shame.
Yes. Dano, what about you?
I'm struggling with not feeling stupid. I hate feeling stupid, and this game makes you feel stupid. Like, purposefully, this game, it's like, it's a mystery game, right? And I imagine part of a mystery game is to make you feel stupid.
Yes.
So you can, like, and there's one thing where you click on a little question mark, and, like, it's like, it'll kind of give you a little bit of details about stuff. And at one point, I click on it and it says, carry on and pay attention. And I'm just like, shut up, game. Shut up. I am paying attention. It's not my fault you're ADHDing all over the bleeping ship and I can't keep anything straight. It's like, I'm doing my best. I have a notebook out. I'm taking notes. I'm like writing down like hats. Okay, this hat equals this guy. It's just like game. What has surprised you about the game?
I've never tried to pay such close attention to such minute details because you're given so little information. But every piece of information that you are given feels important. Every scene is so short. Every scene's maybe 10 seconds long at the most, like including dialogue. And then it takes you probably about a minute or two to go walk through everything, including the things that are like outside of the original purview of that scene. So like usually the scene focuses in on the actual moment of death, and then you can kind of walk around and see other people that are involved, other people that are around the scene, other people that are interacting with the scene in some way, shape, or form. And every single thing feels intentional and deliberate and like a clue. And I was really worried that this game would be like, here's a bunch of information, figure out what's important. And I don't think it does that. I think it goes, here's like 3 important things. You won't know how important they are yet, but they'll help you out eventually. And I was like, what an interesting choice where it's not trying to figure out what's a red herring and what's not. It's knowing that everything here is important, but not knowing what puzzle it fits into yet.
Yeah, speaking of like 3 things, right? So the game, you need 3 things to figure out about something. You have to figure out who they are, their name, how they died, and who killed them. Those are the 3 things you need to figure out. Yeah. So it's really interesting. Yeah.
Matt, what about yourself?
I am Dan.
Sorry, Dano. Yeah.
It is okay. It's okay. The satisfaction of getting things right really surprised me how satisfying it is. So 1 second, excuse me, 1 second you're like, this game is stupid, I'm stupid, and the developer is stupid. And then you get 3 things right and the game locks it in and you're like, I'm MFing Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
Pretty great. Tip of the hat there. Tip of the fancy hat to the game developer.
Fancy hat?
You're thinking, can I afford to buy a car like this? Huh? Am I right? Seriously, Stan, you can't afford not to buy a car like this, and I'm going to make it easy on you.
Sell the game, Storm Rage.
If you've ever wanted to feel like the ultimate detective, truly Sherlock Holmes, this game's for you. That's all it is.
All right, so for me, okay, so it's a mystery, but it's also supernatural, and you have to listen to it with headphones on because your partner's going to want to know what those awful bodily noises are coming from the computer. That's this game. That's sold this game.
Yeah.
It's sound effects, the video game.
Yeah.
Let's get salty!
I'm going to start because so much of the game is this. It says right here. This is from Petrocher? How would you say that name there, Storm Rage?
Petricker.
Recommended 11 hours on record, 7.8 at review time. And this is thumbs up. We do a little racial profiling.
But just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's like, oh, I know that accent, or I know that accent, or I know it's a lot of like trying to like figure out based on like, because the game actually gives you their nationality as well.
Yeah.
And so you can like figure out certain things, especially with like the women. It's like, okay, there are 3 women and one is the captain's wife. So I'm really just figuring out between these 2 women and they are from different nationalities.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I bet I can figure out who that person is now.
Bet you can.
Fantastic.
We do a little racial profiling.
Just a little racial profiling.
All right. The next one here is Storm Rage.
This is from Cami Nanny Can-san. I think I nailed it.
Can-chan-san.
Can-chan-san. This is the only game I've played that made me wish I could rewind time so I could replay it for the first time again. It's not strictly a detective game. You're not battling, gathering clues, and mansplaining suspects into submission. You're merely an insurance lady gathering insurance evidence to fill out an insurance form. And by God, it uses an insane mechanic to allow you to figure out what exactly happened on the ghost ship formerly known as the Obra Dinn, making you search every inch of floorboards like a maniac. The story told is piecemeal and in reverse, somehow managing to unfold an already macabre story into an even crazier with each step. Everything from the visuals to the atmosphere to the sound design is a perfect 10 out of 10. Even if you're not into puzzles, I'd be willing to bet you die satisfied on your deathbed having played this. My only real complaint is that there hasn't been another game like this, and probably never will be.
I've got the next one. Odoloa, recommended, 13.1 hours on record. The best monochromatic high seas time traveling insurance investigation game I've ever played.
You know what? I think all of us can agree to that one.
All right, take the next 2, Storm Rage.
I apologize. I clipped the next 2, the names of these reviewers off, so I apologize. This is, I bought this game for full price, and I still feel like I ripped Lucas Pope off.
That's the game developer. Thank you, Lucas Pope.
Yep.
Good job, nameless reviewer.
You want to take the next one by Pebble?
Nope, you go take this one. I'll take the last one.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. Me, every 5 minutes.
I saw this one as well. It's perfect.
God, it's exactly how I feel about this game. Every single scene, I'm like, oh, yeah. No, I got it now. I get it. Every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes, literally. Out of this last one here. Recommended 14.2 hours on record by Flaming Dog. Wish I could sustain a life-altering brain injury so I can play this fresh again. Flaming Dog, trust me, you don't.
You don't want
that.
Super don't.
You don't. Really don't. Been there, done that. You don't. Yeah. But I know the feeling. Exactly. That would be with Life is Strange. It's like, how can I forget everything and play this for the first time again?
Yep.
I love games like that. All right, that is it for this week. Thank you all so much for listening. Thanks to our patrons for patronizing us. Special thank you to our producers and best friends forever, Baximus and RidiculousHat. You can find all our social media and content information at the pinned comment on our Patreon page over at patreon.com/squelch.
Yeah.
Solve that mystery, baby.
Obra Dinn, baby.
What was it? I was talking over you. I missed it. What'd you kill?
What? Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Return that Obra Dinn, baby.
Perfect.
This is the end of the show. Everybody bye!
I'll be honest, my first thought was rewind that time, but we already did that for Life is Strange. So it is weird that we've had 2 time-traveling rewind detective-type stories in 2 months.
Yeah, I was saying solve that mystery, baby.
Oh, that also would make sense.
Yeah, I talked over you, which is why, because I thought you weren't going to say it, because I thought you were looking for something, so I was like, oh, solve that mystery, baby. And then you were like, oh, should I do it again? I was like, yes, do it again.
Yeah.
Now
We
it's all going
nailed
to
it.
stay in the podcast, so, because we're imperfect.
It's going to
it's
stay in the
Caleb
podcast? Great. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, because it was really ruined because I was talking over you. It wasn't even a you problem. It was a me problem. It was just a me being kind of rude problem. So, yeah, keep that in.
You were just trying to help. You were like, hey, Storm Rage clearly didn't update the show notes to have something about Obra Dinn, so let me jump in and help him out at this critical moment of our show. Because
there was a pause there. There was a pause. I was like, oh, I actually have something I can help out here a little bit.
and your recognition of, oh, he doesn't have anything to say, which was correct, because I got to yeah, and then I went, oh no. So your impulse was absolutely correct, Dano.
Oh my goodness. Return that Obra Dinn, baby. Yeah. Hats, the video game, though, has been fun. I've been enjoying it. Once I got over the initial annoyance of it all, I grew into it.
I think this is the game that you just have to meet on its own terms, and if you try to outsmart the game, you're gonna have a bad time. If you let the game show you how smart you are, you're gonna have a great time.
I think for me I don't think I would have got past the initial 45 minutes if it wasn't like for the podcast. I've been like, this game isn't for me. Bummer. No, this was $13 that, I probably shouldn't have spent because we got it on sale. $20 full price. And maybe I will come back to it another time. Maybe I won't, but this wasn't for me. And instead I kind of had to force it, which got on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, forcing video games is never fun.
Correct.
But then once I got beyond that and things started falling into place a little bit and I kind of just sort of enjoying the story of it, then I would say it flipped. And I started really enjoying the game.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.